lot of seed-borne disease. If I haven't stressed that enough, and you're saving your own seed, and especially if you have ever had any kind of disease on plants, you need to treat your seed or you will have a bad year. All right, in my bathroom, and I'm going to do a hot water treatment of the seeds, all the seeds for this test. I've got a container here. I just use it because it's tall. It'll take the heat that the sous vide generates easily, and it's got a narrow, so I can do a lot of seed in a very small space is what I'm trying to say. I've got the sous vide itself is a type of cooker that you can put in boiling water, or put in water, and it'll heat up the water to whatever temperature you want and circulate it. In the bottom, it's got a fan that circulates it. And so it's got a temperature thermostat on it as well. But because temperature is so critical, I've also got an additional thermostat or thermometer that I will put in here as well. And that'll help ensure that the temperature is at the right level it needs to be. So it's pretty darn easy, really, because it compared to doing it by hand. I've got a video where I did it by hand, and if you don't have the cooker, the sous vide here, it's more labor intensive, I guess you'd call it. It's not difficult, it just requires a lot of attention. But with the sous vide, you don't have to worry about it at all. Just come in every once in a while and check the temperature. Since we're going to be doing this for 60 minutes this time, it's better that it is kind of more automated where it does everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill the container. I want to get it water that's close to room temperature because the seed's room temperature, maybe a tad bit warmer. And the sous vide has a little line there you don't want to fill past, so you got to be careful when you put it in there that it's at that level. We'll start off about this level here, and I'm doing it a little bit early so it can acclimate more to room temperature. This is probably pretty close already. So I'm going to set this in there. I'm doing it one-handed, but it's not difficult. And it's got little teeth on it, this particular one. Each one's designed a little bit differently. And I think they run about 50 to 100 bucks. Look at the little line down here. And it looks like we're in the max. Yeah, we're right where we need to be, which is right above the max line is right above the water level. So when I plug this in, I'll turn this on and we'll begin the process. But for now, I'm not going to do that. This, because I'm not ready, this is just a thermostat I will put in here, and it can bend up. That way I can see the temperature compared to the sous vide. So I can keep it monitored right where it needs to be. I have done this before many times, so I'm quite confident in the results of this process. These are the seeds I'm going to test. These aren't necessarily the ones that I'm going to grow, but I need representations of pepper, tomato, squash, cucumber, what else? Melons. So I'll go over them real quick here. This is California Brian. It's a pepper of mine that I bred. We've got the Italian pepperoncini, which looks like these seeds were for what? Packed for 2022. We got big red bell pepper, packed for 21. Chef's Choice red, packed for 21. We've got Defiant, packed for 22 is when it was tested. Anyways, packed for 23, I'm sure. Tasty Pink Beefsteak, packed for 21, sell by 21. Then we've got Matoyo Eggplant. I took it out of the container. I'm not sure how old that is, but my guess is about 3, maybe 4 years ago. The same with Camo here, which is another type of eggplant that's really good. I've got my tomato line called Lacey. It's a wonderful tomato. It's got Heg German pink in its background. I've got Cantaloupe Cream here, which is a breeding melon of mine. This is, like it says, it's my second choice. That's why I'm testing it instead of the first choice. I got Sweet Success Cucumber here. That's probably 3 or 4 years old. I've got Quetzali melon. It was taken in out of the melon in August 22. I've got my tiny seeded watermelon. This was, let's see if I can see the year on it. Looks like 22 as well. Early prolific squash, that's probably 3 years old or so. Haifa's Finest from Fruition Seed. Let's see what year it is. This was for the 2023 season. I didn't really care for that one that much, but I think it's a good representation for squash. I've got a Peppo winter squash called Delicata here. I grew that last year, I think. Yeah, 23 season. And then I also grew this one, Zucchino Repicante, again last year. So these are the ones that I'm going to test in the same temperature range, and it's going to be 118 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 minutes. And because this is expendable seed, I can get a good idea of whether or not they're going to germinate in such a long process, 60 minutes. Here are the tags. This is Lacey, and it's a garden tag, just a normal garden tag. I wrote Lacey in pencil because pencil won't come off. And I took, this is window screen right here, and I wrapped the seed in window screen, and then I used a couple of small zip ties to affix it to the garden tag here. And I had originally used rubber bands, but they started breaking on me, so I went ahead and just used zip ties. So now, and you don't have to use window screen. You can use any type of screen material or mesh bag like cheesecloth or even coffee filters, but anything where water can soak in and get to the seed, but keep it separate from the others. Sorry, I bumped my little tripod here. So yeah, I've got a bunch of these. They're all in these now. And one of the issues with getting it into the water is to keep, I'm not getting it into the water, but is to keep it below the water level. You don't want these seeds floating up next to the top of the water here and not getting soaked. So what I do typically is I just use a fork, and I put these on the fork, and I can fit 2 or 3 on one fork, and it goes down into the bottom and holds it there on the bottom. And then when it's over, I can just pull the fork out with the seed attached and rinse it in cool water. So it works pretty good. Doesn't have to be a fork, as long as you have any kind of method you can think of to keep the seed below the water level. And we're going to do it at 118 degrees, so you can even reach, when you're done, you can even reach in with your hands and pull the seed out. So that's not an issue. It doesn't get too terribly hot that you can't do that. So let me show you what I'm doing with this one, because I've got a lot of them here. You can see here in this fork that there's two. I slid one into another and I put it on either side of the fork. So there's 4 of them on that fork. So let me show you how I do that with one of these. I just take one like that and slide it into the other. And then from there, I put it on one side of the fork. Just like that. Now I can do the same thing with 2 more on the other side, and I've got 4 packages of seed on one fork that'll go down in there and weigh it up. So yeah, just to summarize, you need to label each seed packet so that they don't get mixed up when you go to plant them, and put them in some kind of permeable mesh or paper. Could even be paper towel. That would work great too. And you could fold the paper towel around the tag and then use rubber bands on that. And then you can put, instead of sliding the zip ties on it, you could slide a piece of the rubber band over it. I've done that before. I've got a video where I did that. So now it's time to take these fork-laden seed packets and put them in the sous vide. All right, I got the sous vide plugged in, and it reads 71 degrees Fahrenheit in here, and this one reads 69.9, which is good for now. On the sites it says to start it off in 10 minutes in lukewarm water of about 100, and some say that you can go up to 110 even to do that part, but this takes a little while to get up to 118 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. Hopefully. There we go. And then we'll hit setup. Whoop. You got 118 blinking there because I used it before at 118. So I'm going to start it, and it's going to start ramping up to get to 118 degrees. While it's doing that, I'm going to take the fork. I've got 3 forks for all that seed I showed you, and I'm going to put them down in here. Trying to make room here for them. It's a lot of seed to do at once. This is the most seed I've ever done at once. There they are. They're all in there now, and I can reach that. So this is going to take a little while to get up to 118, which the point of the warm-up part is to not shock the seed. And so this won't shock it at all. It started out at room temperature, and it'll slowly bring it up to 118. And once it gets up to 118, I'm going to put a timer on my phone for 1 hour. So 118 for 1 hour. All right, we're getting close. This one says 117. This one's 117.8 now. As it turns, there it is, 118. This should make a noise and let me know it's true 118, but this one's also 118. Start the timer. There you go. In 1 hour, I don't even have to watch this because this thing here will keep the temperature at 118. It does a pretty good job. I've validated it before from here. It gets off just a shade between the two, but it's pretty ideal in temperature. So anyway, there's the sound it makes when it's sure it's at 118. It's a beeping noise, and this one's at 118. And so we'll bring you back in an hour and we'll cool off the seed. It's pretty simple. What I've got here is a 1010. It's half of a standard 1020 garden tray. And I have Oasis cubes here. I haven't used these in a while, but these will work just great for the germination test. And that's what this is. This is just a germination test. I haven't tested melon and cucumber and squash at 118 for 60 minutes. So this is just a test. I definitely want to do the hot water treatment on tomatoes and peppers. And if this germination test does really well with cucumbers and other cucurbits, then I want to do that as well. Kind of all at the same time like I'm doing in this video. But anyway, this is a 1010 with Oasis cubes in a dome. I'll put the seed on here with the labels that are with it right now that are in the hot water. And then I'll put this on a heat mat when I'm done putting them on here. All right, I've got about 17 seconds left. I'm gonna fill the sink here with some water. Cool it down, the seed. All right, so that's done. We're at 1 hour. I'm just gonna unplug it here, which is the fastest way to deal with it. And I'm gonna get the seed out and put them in here. Doing this by hand while filming is fun. All right, so they're coming off the fork, which is okay. I'm gonna take a sous vide out and let it drain here. Bottom cap's coming off, but we'll pour it out in here, and then we can use cold water to bring it up to temperature. It's still warm. Oh, very warm. It actually is perfect. So I'll just let this seed. That's actually really good. Anyway, I'll let this seed cool off, and then we'll let it drain. Cool off for about maybe 5 minutes, and then I'll let it drain the water so it can drip out, and then we're going to plant up the seed. Now that we've cooled off the seed, I put it in a paper plate here with some paper towels on top of it to absorb any dripping water, and that can be planted at any point between today and I'd say about 8 hours or so. We don't want to leave it wet for too long before planting. I'm getting ready to plant now. And I've got the soak seed here, and I've got the seed that I use to soak outside here, and these are going to be my control. So I'm going to put a label about halfway in here, and the seed above is the soak seed, and the seed below is the non-soak seed as a control. So I'll bring you back once I have it planted. All right, I've got them in the Oasis cubes here. And except for this one here, which is delicata, there's 2 in each line of Oasis cubes. So we got 6 delicata that's treated, 6 untreated as a control. And on the others, I've got, for example, in this one here, I've got CC Red in these 3 up here. And I've got Tasty Pink in these 3. And then there's 4 here. So I've got 2 CC Red here and 2 Tasty Pink here. And it's the same all the way across, with the exception of Zucchino Replicante, and that's because I didn't have any left in the package, so I went ahead and put 4 of Quetzalli there. So again, 3 Quetzalli here, treated, 3 zucchini replicante here, and 4 Quetzalli here. So just one more time, I want to reiterate here because it's kind of confusing, I think. So we've got 3 red bell pepper, and this one above the tag. Then I've got 3 California Brian, and the 3 above that tag. And then in these 2, I've got the 2 red bell here, and then the 2 California Brian in these 2. We'll put paper towel over the little holes that are in the Oasis cubes, and that's so I didn't have to put any soil on top of it. And this is just a germination test, so that should be fine. And then I put the dome on. Before I did that, I put water on the edge and let the Oasis cubes fill up, and I want all that non-water treated seed to get wet. I'm gonna put them on the heat mat here in my grow room, and if you look here, it's 68.6 degrees in here Fahrenheit, and this is late afternoon. It's actually starting to get a little dark outside, but I put a thermometer in here too, which may be hard for you to see, but it says it's 94% humidity in there and 85 degrees. That's temporary because I can't leave that thing in that much humidity for very long, but I just wanted to see what kind of temperatures I was getting ambient in here. The heat mat will throw some heat into the bottom here, but up top I have also put the date. I guess it's on the back side. I'll turn it around, but anyway, I put the date. I'm gonna do it now in front of you so you can see what I'm talking about. Now I got another heat mat that's on top of it, and all that's doing is shedding or blocking some of the light. It's not on. So anyway, you can see there I've got the date that I planted these, 27th of January 2024. So anyway, yeah, this is normally would be laying flat down here. The heat mat is on right now. You can see this little light here on this little extension here is got both these heat mats on. So we'll wait for the seed to pop and we'll go from there.
We have some germination of some of the cucurbits. I know the cucumber are pretty prolific along with the melons to germinate pretty early. So these cucurbits, once they start coming up, they get a little bit unruly and they'll make things tough to investigate with the other seeds. So what I'm doing is, if I see that they've germinated, I'm going to pull them out and put a little pin in here. This is just a plastic toothpick right here that I bought for various things. But if I see like here that it's coming up, like these 3 here, then I will put a pin in it. And you can even see some of these others here that are pushed out because they can't penetrate through these Oasis cubes. And that's fine. The point is that they've germinated, and that's all this test is. I'm not trying to grow them to grow this spring or anything like that. It's just a germination test. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the pins in, but I'll give you a quick look at what's germinated. It looks like here, let me see, I'll get a little bit sideways here. All the sweet seedless here have germinated. And if you follow it down here, both the sweet seedless here have germinated as well. The Hafa here has got, I can't quite tell, but it doesn't look like any of the 3 Hafa have germinated. And these are the 2 Hafa here. And they look like they're starting, but maybe not. The cantaloupe cream, we got 3 here that have germinated, and both of them here have germinated. The, what's this, early prolific, look like it's starting to germinate right here, but I'm not doing it yet. And the 2 early prolific here, they're in the control, have not germinated. So anyway, what I'm going to do, you can see here that 1 zucchino replicante has germinated here, maybe 1 here, and let's see here, zucchino replicante, it looks like 1 here, and 1 starting here. So once they're definitively up and about like this one here, I'll pull it out and we'll put a pin in it, or a toothpick. There's the plants pulled, or the germinated plants. And here you'll see the little toothpicks in there where they used to be. Much more organized that way.
Alright, this is the last of this trial. I'm about to plant here in 4 days, and it worked out great. It tells me which seed to treat and how to treat it. I'm going to put a summary right after this little bit of video, and it'll basically tell you what seed worked and what didn't. So essentially the only thing that didn't work really that great was, whoa, hit the tripod, was the eggplant seed. They look like they're kind of trying to germinate, but it's really been really slow. They should have come up by now. They should have come up about the same time as peppers, but they didn't. So I'm going to do the bleach treatment on that, and I'll have another video on the bleach treatment. But basically, it's bleach treatment is I'll go ahead and tell you what it is, but it's 1 part bleach, basic household bleach. I think it's like 5 point something %. You take out of the bottle 1 ounce of that, and then you add 4 ounces of clean water for a total of 5 ounces. So you've got 1 part bleach to 4 parts water. It creates 5 ounce, and then you take the seed, and the same way I did it for heat treating is you put them in the little things, and I put it in a little mason jar, or a bigger mason jar, and I shake it vigorously for 2 minutes, and then after the 2 minutes and that solution's done, then you rinse it, and that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple. But bleach treatment, like the hot water treatment, is advocated by major ag and universities that do this. In fact, you can have seed treatments done. You can pay for it. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. So that is what the bleach treatment does, is it treats the exterior of the seed casing. It doesn't penetrate down into the where the cotyledons are waiting to bust out. It doesn't get inside the seed. It just treats the outside, whereas the hot water treatment goes all the way through the seed, and it nearly eradicates completely all seed-borne disease. And there's a lot of seed-borne disease. If I haven't stressed that enough, and you're saving your own seed, and especially if you have ever had any kind of disease on plants, you need to treat your seed or you will have a bad year. Take it from experience. I've had a couple, 3, 4 bad years, and it's for my own fault. But anyway, I'm advocating for this again. Obviously it works, it's tried, there's even scientific papers on it. But anyway, bleach treatment, hot water treatment, those are your 2 tools to effectively treat your seed. They can be done right after you harvest the seed, or they can be done right before you plant the seed, which is what I'm going to do, because it has been shown in some papers that priming the seed, this is a form of priming, soaking it and that sort of thing, it essentially helps with the germination too. So we'll check that out in a few days when I plant.
How long do we gotta stay here for people we don't know in one lines? All of the clothes are designer, fast cars, and who knows who. Yeah, I know what they wanna say. They're gonna ask me if I'm gonna make it. I don't care. sip of that Cabernet. The way it stains your lips, I wanna taste it. Take my hand, I